David Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from the... I just got laughed as I started this because I saw the headline again of this of the article was going over. And I was like, I can't believe there's more of this, right? No, this is still going. Yes. Hi there, I'm Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. As Screen Rant really is struggling to find a way to deal with the timeless children. I mean, struggling to find a way. They're struggling in the same way. If you ever seen Matt Walsh's, I haven't seen the documentary, I saw the trailer for it, for the documentary, What is a Woman? Now, you can't really define easily what is a woman in 2022. Used to be somebody with a pee-pee was a boy and a cha-cha was a girl. Listen, this is all the science I really needed to know, right? And they've taken that away from me. But now you have liberal women are being asked the question, trying to define what a woman is, and then they know what a woman is. They know what the definition of what a woman is, but they can't bring themselves to say it because then they go, and everything I'm saying is complete nonsense. You know, it's completely insane. Which YouTube, of course, I don't believe. YouTube, how you doing, YouTube? Love you, baby, love you. Of course, I wouldn't in a million years intimate that the gender is anything other than completely fluid. Oh, it's like a waterfall, baby. It drips everywhere. Yeah, of course I believe that, and I wouldn't dare intimate anything else. Anyway, Screen Rant are trying to get the head round the idea that the timeless child was a terrible idea, and they know it's a terrible idea. They keep trying to go, but wait, we're trying to work our way through it, right? Which is what we're going to have a bit of a laugh at, because you know the easiest way of working your way through it, the really easiest way is say, oh yeah, we were totally wrong. We just said Jodie Whittaker was good because ideologically it aligned with us, but the actual quality of the episodes she put out were truly abysmal, right? And The Timeless Child was a great example of how truly abysmal it is. Oh man, now I'm saying truly abysmal. Okay, I'm going to let you go to a quick aside, because I am experiencing agita. While I'm experiencing agita, I'm recording this on Tuesday, October the 4th, which tonight is Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the year in the Jewish calendar, right? So it's 25 hours of not eating. Really, you know, biggest day in the Christian calendar, you know, you get Christmas, you have presents, you have turkey, you have stuffing. Biggest day in the Jewish calendar, you get to not eat food and water for 25 hours, right? And then there's a very intense prayer service. Well, intense for me, but yeah, very intense prayer service. They go on for a long time. Now, okay, here's where so that's already agita coming in, but here's where the agita really starts. It's we have three prayer groups in my synagogue. We have the big, main synagogue where they have lots of singing. You go, oh, it's very Christian in there. I'm not a big fan, right? Lots of like very boring singing of hymns. Not for me. You have the other prayer group that starts a wee bit later. Starts at 9:00. The main one starts at 8:15. And there's a no nonsense. People go there. They schmooze. They talk about. They don't really pay that much attention sometimes. But that attracts the less Bible thumpy, right, people? So there's that group, and then there's my group that starts early. We start at 7:15 or 7 in the morning. I think we're starting 7:30 tomorrow, right? And we're in our little last room. Off the side. I always like the little last room, okay? I'm a fan of the little last room. It's called a stiebel. I like the little last room. So we all had our own little seats. All the grumpy old men went there, and I fit right in. Right, I was one of the young grumpy old men. It was wonderful. It was my people, right? I'm very happy there. So we haven't been in that room for a number of years because of COVID. We had to be in the bigger room where there's an outside. People can be outside and pray or inside. But now we've returned, okay? So I have this little seat at the front that I kind of designed for myself, right? Now, when my kids were younger, they would sit with me at these little seats. But basically, it's just me up there, right? And so I was back there. I was very happy. But the person, the people who were arranging the prayer services, they've redesigned the will, right? We have our little way, we set up our little room, and they wanted to make it better, so they put lots of new tables in for people and everything, which means everything just changed, right? And nobody's happy when you change. No, but it was fine for me for the Jewish New Year, which was 10 days ago or 9 days ago, because I had my little seat back. I was left alone. I like my little seat. Leave me alone. It's good. But all the women complained because they set up the women's section, and men and women's pray separately in Judaism, Orthodox Judaism. They set up the women's section without field testing it, okay? If you're arranging any event, you need to field test everything, right? You need to see how it translates from paper to actuality. That's why don't reinvent the freaking wheel, okay? We liked the way we set up before, but it's all done with the best of intention. It's like my best mate doing it, right? So then, I saw this morning, where I'm sitting, he wants to put 2 more chairs. I'm like, what? Okay, firstly, the idea of anybody, like, in the same row as me, I'm not, I like a bit of elbow room, I'm a bit of a spreader, right? I'm a knee spreader, I'm a man spreader, right? So 3, that's going to be tough, mate, that's going to be tough. I think I might have him talked down to 2, but he asked me not to put, my stuff on a chair because it'll make it look like I have a superior seat, and I'm in business class. I'm like, fine, I won't do that. But, Yom Kippur is a day of pure, complete, total truth, right? So I think the truth of me being in a superior position to everybody else, I don't think it's fair, but you know me, I don't like to rock the boat, so fine, whatever, but I think I've got to talk down to 2 seats from 3, thank God. But I have adjutor, right? I have adjutor. Why? Why do I have adjutor? Because they're rattling my bloody cage, okay? Just let me have my little ass seat in my little ass room where everything, that's all we want, okay? And just keep everything the same. Don't reinvent anything, right? Don't reinvent anything, which probably would have been good advice if somebody gives Chris Chibnall. Don't reinvent it. This isn't planned out, right? I just start talking and I think, I'll hook it up at some point, right? I'll find a way to... Yes, that was quite a good segue. I'm quite happy with that. Like, share, subscribe before we get into it. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. That's always very, very good. Please subscribe. YouTube throttling me like hell again. I like YouTube, mate. YouTube. Come on. Now, I have been... somewhat anticipating the apocalypse. Maybe the apocalypse will happen before this video gets posted, at which point I'll be very, very upset, because then I'll be, all this work I went to for no reason. But, if like, say, Putin wants to really throw down with, America, maybe he could disable Silicon Valley somehow, right? Yeah, peacefully, obviously. But that will mean everybody has to move to Rumble. Oh! Yeah, swings and roundabouts, baby. I'll be much happier with that. That works out really, really good for everybody moves over to Rumble. Until that time, like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things are fan-dabby double dozy. I am insanely grateful. Sign up my Substack. Sign up my free Substack. I really got to send something out on that day. It's Yom Kippur today. I got to send something out. I feel guilty. That's the sort of things we say on Yom Kippur. Anyway, I digress. Let's get to the story. The Timeless Joel could have been great. No, it couldn't. Okay, how do we know it couldn't have been great? I'll tell you why. Because something that we've learned from this era of woke. Now, what is woke in entertainment? It's the uncomfortable platforming of ideology, where on an existence, a successful franchise, right? That's what being woke is. Now, if you do that sort of stuff as something that doesn't have an existence, successful franchise, then you just have a flop, right? Normally it's just that's it. Also, there's a new Judd Apatow movie just came out with Billy Eichler, I think, called Bros. It's like a gay rom-com. And so essentially they made a movie for 1% of the population to identify with, right? And they're surprised it's tanked huge. It opened on 300 and something screens, made 4 million. It's made nothing. It's made a budget of 22 million, made under 5. And they're like, Ed, it's all the white straight people. Excuse me, black straight people don't like it either, okay? That's just the way it is. But it couldn't have been great, right? Woke stuff can't be great because, one of the traits of something woke is it's not very, very good, right? But you can always tell someone's motivations. Like, for some reason, I'm really working on quantifying this, right? But I don't know why. I don't think Lawrence Fishburne playing Perry White in Man of Steel is woke. But I do feel Jeffrey Wright playing Commissioner Gordon in Batman is woke. So it's really strange, right? Because they're both top-class, world-class actors. And I think Jeffrey Wright, interesting choice for Commissioner Gordon, right? It's a different take on it, and I think it somewhat works. But it just feels like he's there for a representation, right? That he doesn't feel like he's there because he's a great actor. And Jeffrey Wright is a great actor, right? I mean, a bit of a douchebag in real life, but when I say douchebag, they all are, right? All the actors in Hollywood, they're all douchebags, okay? And like the era of like having movie stars is over. The last movie star was Tom Cruise, and when he dies, there will be no others, right? It's the end, right? It's the end of movies. And God bless him, Tom Cruise loves movies. He loves the experience of going to movies. You know what I think they should do with movies? I think they should make them more sparingly. I mean, basically have this. You have cinema movies and you have streaming movies, right? All of Disney shit is streaming movies. None of those are cinematic movies at all. But you get real cinematic movies where you know, Christopher Nolan and Quentin Tarantino, where they understand what a 70mm scope looks like, right? And they know how to use it, and it's a breathtaking bit. Tom Cruise knows how to use it. He did this great bit where he's like promoting Mission Impossible, whatever, it's 17. I love all of them. They're all fantastic. He's hanging on to a freaking biplane, right? And he's about to like do backflips and stuff. And he's like, see you at the movies. Oh man, Tom, I love that. Okay, I love that you're willing to do anything to get people to go to movies. But wouldn't that be great? Like we turn the movies back into a communal experience again. Right, we can, but movies have got to be worth it, right? Wouldn't that be fantastic? That movies are worth going to cinema for. That's the biggest problem right now. They're not worth going to cinema for. That's why, if you release an Empire Strikes Back, a Back to the Future, whatever, Indiana Jones, I'll go to cinema for that. It's worth going for that, right? It's not worth going for Doctor Strange. Whatever it is, it's just not, right? You make crap, nobody's interested in watching crap. That's the bottom line. So it couldn't have been great. I think let's circle this back to the beginning. It could not have been great with the Master, not the Doctor. Nope, still stupid bollocks, mate. I'm sorry. Kai Young wrote this, and Kai Young is wrong. Season 12 of Doctor Who revealed the Doctor is actually a mysterious, timeless child, but the Master is a much better candidate for her. So this is a reiteration of the same article they've written like 3 or 4 times now. Yeah, you just got to accept it, right? It's shit. I don't know how to, like, you know, I just think we got to be straight with each other. Screen Rant, it's unwatchable shit. It's badly done. There's nothing really good about it. You know, I don't know what to tell you, Screen Rant. You need to calm down. You need to get off this this pure and complete insanity that somehow the Jodie Whittaker era is valid. It's not, right? It's not. It's garbage. Jodie Whittaker was cast because she has a vagina, not because she has any aptitude to play Doctor fucking Who, right? She has no aptitude to do it. How do I know that she has no aptitude to play Doctor Who? I've seen her play Doctor Who. And I haven't just seen a bit of her play Doctor Who. I've seen her play a lot of Doctor Who. And she's always awful playing Doctor Who. Now, you may want to say, oh, but it was the scripts that were awful. Yes, they were. The scripts were indeed awful. The performance was also awful, right? So, you know, and I love, they're like, still like, no, it makes sense. It could work. No, it's shit. And you supported it because it ideologically lined up to you, and now you look like a schmuck. Now, you should at least feel happy you're not, who was it? Like The Guardian and BuzzFeed, who put out headlines about Lord of the Rings TV show, which is unwatchable garbage. I mean, just unwatchable, awful garbage. When they put a headline saying, oh, it makes Game of Thrones, House of Dragon look amateurish. Really? My God, I just saw so much full frontal dragon porn this week. Oh, I mean, you didn't see dragons having sex, but I was as aroused as I would be if I did. Freaking incredible! Oh man, those dragons. As I'm watching the dragons in HBO, or the House of Dragon, right? I'm going, look at that scene, just added on 25 cents to everybody's membership. It's like, really? You know, we could have had a club puppet and we could pay a couple of bucks left. Fine, season 12. Well, I digress. Let's get back to the Timeless Children. Revealed that the Doctor is actually the mysterious Timeless Child, but the Master is a much better candidate for the role. So this Timeless Child did good for me, as it happens, right? Because it de-canonized Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who, right? It really did. It's incredible how that happened. Just same with The Last Jedi, de-canonized Rey. And it's so strange, but they actually did. Are we getting any more Stunning and Brave Rey adventures? I don't think so. I don't see anybody lining up for that, right? And the reason we're not seeing anybody line up for that is because it was made for little girls, and Star Wars made for little boys, right? And when you make something for little girls that was made for little boys, instead of getting a whole new audience of little girls, oh, now we got a whole new audience of little girls. No, you get no audience. You get no audience of little girls, apart from the weird ones, and you get no audience of little boys that are like, what is this faggy crap they think? And they're right? They're right. Speaking of politics again, I'm recording this on October 4th. I think the apocalypse may have happened before I post this, but if it doesn't, I saw Putin gave this address to Russia or something about how the Americans are satanically evil and doing gender experiments on their children, and I'm like, well, yes, all that is true, but you're no angel yourself, then, Mr. Putin, but like. Oh, well, he did call that pretty accurately, didn't he? So, I don't know how we got to that. Fine, the Doctor was revealed to the mysterious timeless child in Doctor Who Season 12, but the Master would have been a better candidate for the role. The timeless child was first mentioned in Season 11, Episode 2. Yes, how did that make any sense? How did these little scraps of paper or cloth or whatever they were that were sentient know about the timeless child? I mean, no, it's called that. I'm like, how? How does that make any sense? Don't ask. Nothing in Chibnall's Doctor Who ever makes sense, right? Ever makes sense. The Timeless Child was first mentioned in the episode The Ghost Monument, while the Doctor was subjected to the Remnant Psychic Probe. How they kind of picked up from her, from a psychic probe, because she had no access to memory, right? With them stating, they see what's hidden, even from yourself. How? And how was it hidden? We saw her entire timeline, and we haven't seen all these stunning and brave non-white male doctors, which of course is the majority, which of course is the the point entirely. Referring directly to Timeless Child, there is a this is the mystery. This is where the mystery began. It took 2 seasons to reveal what and who the Timeless Child actually is. Yeah, I mean, it took 2 seasons of boredom with nobody really caring whatsoever, right? That's not called a resounding success. Also not called a resounding success is when you come back after being off the air for how long were they off for? Spyfall would be on New Year's Day, and I believe part 2 was the week afterwards or the day afterwards. Either way, okay, so that was 2021 or 2020? Okay, if her first season was 2018, right? And then 2020, right? It was, they did everything in 2020. So then it came back, I guess, Halloween 2021. So it's about 18 months, right? 18 months away, right? And they still didn't answer questions. After coming through a universal portal, the Timeless Child was discovered by Tectun, one of the first inhabitants of Gallifrey. I mean, what a shit character, right? Like, what a genuinely shit character, and experimented on due to their regenerative ability. God, that was awful. Leading on to the creation of the Time Lords. After 2 seasons of speculation about the identity of the Timeless Child, it was revealed the Doctor in season 12 for not. Nobody speculated about who the Timeless Child was at all, right? Nobody cared. Film of the Timeless Children on Gallifrey, the Master reveals that the Doctor is in fact the Timeless Child, which came as a shock not only to the Doctor but also the Doctor Who audience, as this apparently retconned the Doctor's entire history. Not apparently, did, right? I don't understand your point. It did retcon his entire history. And it's like, oh, yeah, look at America blowing up the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, which of course they didn't do. I mean, they just benefited hugely and said they were going to do it. Apparently the Nord Stream 2 pipeline blew up. Oh, apparently. Yeah, it blew up because you blew it up. It wasn't apparent, right? It's not apparent that it retconned the entire Doctor's history. It actually did, right? How's it working out for you? Here's the thing. Same as my very good friend who's sweating bullets trying to get that little room set up to pray in on Yom Kippur and keep everyone happy. If you reinvent the wheel, make sure you do it well. If you don't, people are gonna be pissed off, right? Put everybody back where they were. That's what they want, right? That's what they want. This is what we want. Fine. The decision to rewrite the Doctor as a timeless child was hugely controversial one, leading to viewers to wonder whether it would have been a better choice for whether there would have been a better choice for the character. Limitless better choices for the character. One, there's thousands, tens of thousands better choices for the character. First better choice is never casting Jodie Whittaker. That was a very bad choice for the character. Okay, very bad. The decision to rewrite the Doctor's Timeless Child, the motivations of it are very clear. Clearer than the motivations for Commissioner Gordon being played by a black guy in The Batman, which is actually a piece of shit, I have to tell you. Don't bother, avoid it. If you want to see The Batman or recreate the experience, play Batman Begins at half speed and turn the lighting down, right, to make it darker. But it's still going to be better, right? It's still going to be better. When everybody looked at was it Robert Pattinson and said, Robert Pattinson Batman? Well, that's going to look stupid. Well, that's actually what happened. When Pattinson walked out as Batman, I went anyway. Well, that looks stupid. And then it was boring as well. Long and boring. So fine. So the motivation to rewrite the Timeless Doctor as the Timeless Child, very clear. The Doctor has only ever been played by white men before, and we know that's a problem by the people like Screen Rant and people like Chris Chibnall, because they go, oh no, the Doctor's only been played by a white man. Let's be more progressive. Yes. Okay. Let's be progressive and give double mastectomies to 12-year-old girls and chemically castrate boys. Yay! Is that being progressive or is that being intensely evil? You, the jury, decide. But no, YouTube has decided for us. It's not being intensely evil. It's just being super, super, super virtuous, right? Was a controversial one, leading to viewers to wonder whether it would be a better choice of character. In fact, it's fair to ask if the Master would have been a better choice to be the Timeless Child. Yeah, okay, it's a stupid idea, okay? That's the bottom line. It's a stupid idea. You should have had Philip Hinchcliffe there, right, to bounce it off. And he would have gone, oh, that's a dumb idea. Don't do that. He said, but no. See, that way everybody can now relate to Doctor Who, right? Everybody can be like Doctor Who and see themselves in Doctor Who. And Hinchcliffe would be like, everybody can always see themselves in Doctor Who. People are able to see beyond the surface. I mean, not you, idiot, leftist, racist scum who can only see surface, right? But normal people, not the weirdos that live on Twitter, not people who are astounded that nobody wanted to go and see Jab Apatow's gay bromance movie with what's his name again? Billy Eichler, I think. What that you're surprised that failed is I think that says quite a lot, quite frankly. From the Master superiority complex to the mysterious history, to their mysterious history, both classic and new, the Master could have been far more a complex choice for the Timeless Child. Why the Doctor shouldn't be the Timeless Child? Well, many reasons, but it breaks all narrative continuity. And I understand Doctor Who has a long continuity, and while there are ways to nitpick. The classic one is Mordred Undead and unit dating, right? And people did have to go through a lot of mental hoops to try and work out, to jump through, to try and make that fit. And you can, right? but it was a side issue of a side issue of a side. It was a plot point in a story in 1982, right? It wasn't so important, right? This is the fundamental core of the character, right? It was a bold move by Chris Chibnall, a stupid one. Doctor Who showrun between 2018 and 2022. Yes, the four worst years. To rewrite Doctor's origin as a timeless child. In all their incarnations, Doctor has been seen as an every person figure. No. All right, let's just go through him for a second. You got William Hartnell. No. He was a grumpy old grandfather, Edwardian grandfather type person. Patrick Troughton wasn't an every person. He was a cosmic hobo, right? He projected himself as a buffoon, but he had all these like cosmic plans going on. I really, one of the best examples of that is Web of Fear. Absolutely love Web of Fear. Don't bother with the reconstructed episode. It will make you vomit. Watch a Telesnap reconstruction. It's far better. It's on the disc as well. John Pertwee, no. He was like James Bond. Tom Baker, like this tall bohemian hero. No, I mean, Peter Davison is as close as you get, but you got to remember, back in the 80s, Peter Davison was, Henry Cavill. He was super hunky. He was the best looking thing anybody ever seen on British TV. They had women leaning up against washing machines on spin cycles at 7:50 or 7:25 on Tuesday and Wednesday afternoons, Tuesday and Wednesday evenings, very, very often, right? He was super tishy. Colin Baker, no, not an. Did you see his costume? His performance? No. Sylvester McCoy? No. Mysterious figure? Paul McGann? Certainly not. Christopher Eccleston? Christopher Eccleston is the closest to an everyman figure Doctor Who ever got. And he was an everyman. He was an alien with two hearts and 900 years old. David Tennant? No. Matt Smith? Certainly not. Peter Capaldi? Yeah. What's it called again? The War Doctor? John Hurt? No. Right, yeah, no. Doctor has never been an everyman figure, right? An everyman, every person figure. Okay, an every person figure and a charismatic adventurer. Well, what the? Choose a lane. Choose a lane and go down it. That's your bloody choice. Are you out your bloody mind? An every person figure is not a charismatic adventurer. They're different. They're fundamentally different, right? Who has no special powers other than fancy technology, a heightened intellect, and the ability to regenerate. He's very clever. Doctor Who is he doesn't have a heightened intellect. He has like an omni intellect. It's like, have you ever seen the show? Right? I mean, no. Doctor's always been a relatable character, who suffers tribulations that everyone goes through whilst being fantastical. That, I think, is reasonably fair, right? This was one of the primary reasons Doctor Who was so entertaining for audiences of any age. Yes, the character of Doctor, right? Yeah, you had a one, mysterious, enigmatic, romantic, fantastic figure at the beginning. Very far from being an every person, right? However, the retcon of the Doctor being the timeless child means the character was unique and remarkably different from everyone else for the entire time. Well, they have really been playing that since, I would say, Tennant's time, right? The old god kind of thing. Yeah, it's not a new idea. The character was unique and remarkably different from everyone else the entire time. Many have argued that too much emphasis has been placed on how special the Doctor is, especially during Jodie Whittaker's run as Doctor Who, as a Time Lord. Well, somebody once commented, I can't remember where. This might have been Rusty Davis, but I'm not sure I'm right. Okay, I can't remember. This was back from Doctor Who magazine, or maybe even DWB back in the day. It stuck with me. The difference between Doctor Who and Star Trek is, in Star Trek, everyone is the bestest of the bestest ever. They only have the bestest people on the Enterprise, and they're the bestest of the bestest ever. Well, Doctor Who, slouched by with a lower second, right? Wasn't an academic high flyer, But I like the idea that he was an academic high flyer, but he was much, much, much cleverer than those around. He was just too bored to really just put the effort in to fit into Time Lord Society's nonsense. So, I think that's a main demographic of people who like Doctor Who. People are on the outside, right? And if you're a smarter person, if you're a smart kid, you are going to feel on the outside because you are smarter, right? Oftentimes, smart kids in school do badly. Why? Because school is made for average children, so they have a lesson plan for 30 kids, right? That's going to last a week. The smart kid works it out in like 20 minutes. Yeah, like, oh yeah, okay, fine, I got it. And is bored for the rest of the week, and then just doesn't want to do anything, and then he gets hassled by the school and told he's stupid, right? Doctor Who appealed to those type of people, right? Doctor Who very much appealed to that type of people. He was so special he didn't need to express his specialness. When the parts have been emphasized, the Doctor isn't special, but a person who ran away in time machine. I did kind of like that with Matt Smith. I think he said that very well. So look, there's one episode where he goes, where he portrayed himself as, I'm a madman with a box, right? But one episode he's like, look, I really am just a madman with a box, right? And I love that. That really, really worked, right? But they have to make Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who the most special and bestest ever, because that's the rules for writing women, right? Why are the only interesting characters on TV white males? Because they're the only characters you can write any layer or nuance about. If they're a black person, or if they're a woman or a gay person or a trans person, they have to be perfect in every way, right? They absolutely have to be perfect in every way. And even when they do something wrong, they're doing it because they're right? Michael Burnham in Star Trek Discovery, a great example of that, right? It's just cultural vandalism done by people, by talentless morons who have fallen into jobs that they shouldn't have, right? And they use identity politics to disguise their deep lack of talent and even deeper racism. I mean, a great example of Hollywood racism is the TV show Watchmen, which whenever it was about the white people in the show, it was brilliant, right? It was absolutely brilliant. Layered, complex, evil, crazy characters doing layered, complex, evil, crazy things. And then when it was about black people, it was boring as hell. Why was it boring as hell? Because the black people are all the bestest ever and never do anything wrong and have no complexity and is boring, right? Boring. Where the in the special, just the person who ran away. So, introducing the Doctor as the timeless child only makes the famous traveler difficult to relate to, but creates major Doctor Who plot holes. Writing the Master of the Timeless Child would have been far less controversial and could have been viewed as a natural progression of the character. Not a particularly good progression of the character, though, right? It's a little bit crazy, but yeah. The Master would have been a better choice for the Timeless Child. Honestly, Barusa would have been a better choice. A tub of lard would have been a better bloody choice. By the way, I don't know anything about British politics. I know Liz Truss just became Prime Minister and is having her ass roundly handed to her, right? That's from what I can tell. She's doing very badly, right? But, she's been there for 20 minutes. I don't know. Could anybody have done any better? I really have no idea. Okay, I have no idea at all. That's not going well, is it? Again, who knows what's going to be? I'm recording this on October 4th. This is Tuesday. So this is probably not going out till Sunday, right? So the 4th is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. This is probably going out in 5 days. The political landscape may be completely different. Labour may be in power by then. I'm keeping this in if indeed Labour is in power. That would be hilarious. And also reasonably awful. Look, while I think Liz Truss hasn't done awfully well, I think Labour's going to do a lot worse. God, really? Since the Masters debut in 1971, Terror of the Autons, by the way, look, little rant, right? A little kvetch. On the DVD Blu-ray of was it season 8, they do new special effects of Terror of the Autons, which I generally speaking like. However, when the nesting consciousness as a giant squid appears, it really doesn't work over the radio telescope, right? In the original one, it's like a blurry like hand thing, over the telescope. So this time it's like a whole like squid just kind of appears with it, but it just kind of floats on it. It doesn't make any sense. The best realization of it, much better, was from the 90s. I guess it was the second Auton by BBV, where it was the first time you saw computer graphics, I think, in a Doctor Who setting. Like, I mean, other than the TARDIS in the beginning of Time in the Rani. Oh, that was bad. And it was like it was clawing over a church. It looked real. Why can it look like that? Okay, mini kvetch over. The character has always been a rebellious thorn in the side of the Doctor. While the backstory for the character has been developed further since the 2005 revival. The Master has always been shown to be isolated from the other with an intense feeling of being different and a huge superiority complex. Oh, I relate to him already. This was, listen, he has a superiority complex. I'm merely superior. What can I tell you? This was reinforced by Doctor Who Season 3, Episode 11, Utopia, during which the Master, then disguised as Professor Yana, mentions being plagued by by the sound of drumming, which drove him mad in childhood. He will knock 4 times. Oh no, it's Wilf. Yeah, I'm not going to explain any of that. Which drove him mad during childhood on Gallifrey. These differences between the Master and the other members of the Timeless Society could have easily been explained had the Master been written the Timeless Child. The point of the Timeless Child, the entire point of the Timeless Child was to make the Doctor less white and less male. That's why the superior storytelling choice of using the Master could never have happened, because that doesn't make the Doctor less white and less male, right? Again, that was the only freaking thought going through Chibnall's idiot brain. The reveal also would have lessened the impact on Doctor Who lore in general. Exactly! The Doctor would have been mainly white and male still. No, not allowed, right? As viewers haven't received much information about the previous incarnation of the Master. Therefore, they don't know how many there actually been, fitting in with the narrative of the Timeless Child and limited regenerations. You're making a pretty darn good point there. That's actually interesting. I would be interested in these limitless Masters. That'll be an interesting new thing to add to the Doctor Who mix. Right, each week you could have a Master of the Week. And it doesn't destroy the show, right? That I'm up for. Right, let's get Jonathan Pryce back as the Master. Reinvented Master of China Show would have played perfectly into the character's pre-existing God complex and would have allowed for some interesting exchanges between the apparently superior Master and the Doctor. Okay, this guy is you're making a good argument, right? In the Timeless Children, the Master was disgusted by the fact that some of the Doctor's own DNA was infused in every Time Lord, including himself, but this would have perhaps made more of an impact had the roles been reversed, and the Doctor had realised that a piece of the psychopathic Master was winning every Time Lord. Or the Master finds out there's a piece of him in the Doctor. It's like, oh no, how disgusting. Again, yeah, look, clearly a much stronger storytelling choice. Wasn't about telling stories, was it? It was about making the character less white and less male. And that's all it was about. And that's why it failed so completely. I mean, it really failed so magnificently completely. Even though it's too late to go back now. Oh, wait, here comes Rusty Davis. I don't think it's too late to go back now. Especially since Doctor Who Flux series has firmly solidified the Doctor as the Timeless Child. All retconned away, baby. Red pen right through that. Right through that crap. There's a ton of many viewers that expressed disappointment and annoyance at this massive change in the character history. Well, most fans have said, yeah, not for me, bye. Right? Most fans have said, this is garbage and I am not interested in it. Right? I mean, I think that's a fair thing that most fans have said. I mean, if you're going to be honest, which, boy, A little bit honest challenge to the person who wrote this. But here, let's look at the ratings, for example. Fine. So yeah, the ratings really genuinely get to the lowest ever. Where was it? Around the Timeless Child. 4.69, which at the time was the lowest rated episode ever. Right? Here's assuming. Yeah, 4.69. But then it got worse. 4.55, 4.4, and it got even worse for after that, because it's not very good, right? It's not very good. This is the Revolution of the Daleks, right? I think they're down. What are they down to now? 4.2. It's something ridiculous, right? It's absolutely ridiculous how low the ratings are getting. They're still making it. Even though it's too late to go back now, no, it's not. It's widely felt that the sense of mystery of the previous season of Doctor Who cultivated so well has been quashed, with too many questions being answered, despite some lingering plot holes uncovered by the Timeless Child reveal. It is certainly the Doctor Who will continue to expand its mythology as more episodes are due to be released in 2023, following the third and final centenary special in 2022. The Power of the Doctor. The Power of the Doctor, yeah. So I read a bunch of spoilers yesterday. I only got about halfway through it. That the Power of the Doctor is to bring back past regenerations, but they age up to the age they would be if they never regenerated. So we get an old Sylvester McCoy, and old Colin Baker, and Peter Davison. But anyway, I digress. The point is, this has been a complete disaster, right? Complete disaster, and mainly a disaster of the people who wave the flag so strongly for this idiot era. If I may demonstrate, so Screen Rant has been somewhat obsessed by the Timeless Child. We've had article after article. Doctor Who showrunner expects Timeless Child twist to be ignored. Yeah, me too, mate. Doctor Who wrongly used Timeless Child to define the Whittaker era. Yep, they did. But I think, it's shit, and the era's shit, so it all kind of works out. Doctor Who Flux has to answer the biggest Timeless Child question. Yes, hasn't done that yet. Doctor Who's Timeless Child payoff will be a bad Chibnall joke theory. That could well be. Why Rusty Davis needs to abandon the Timeless Child story. Doctor Who can't ignore the Timeless Child story even after Chibnall's exit. They've obsessed and they've obsessed and they've obsessed and they've obsessed about this. Why? Because they can't stand being wrong. And that's it. They cannot stand. They can't live with it. They can't function. Their brain can't compute. They cannot function. They can't cope with being wrong. And Screen Rant, you were wrong. It's really that simple. You were wrong. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. And ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.